G'day Seagulls fans, and welcome to Seagulls TV for our team announcement video ahead of our round 2 clash with Box Hill this Sunday at Burbank Oval. Joining me once again is football manager Chris Dixon. Chris, it's going to be a huge occasion out there. Both teams will come out ready for this one, you think?
Yeah, it's worked out well, I guess, playing Box Hill in the year. Obviously, grand final rematch in both the teams in development. It's a TV game. Obviously, put that sort of on the national stage now on Channel 7, and obviously we're unfurling both premiership players from last year, so it's going to be a big occasion, and looking forward to seeing two quality games of footy.
Just before we get started, the premiership flag unfurling will take place at 11:10, so we really encourage all Seagulls fans to get there probably around 11 o'clock, because these sort of moments don't come around every day. So yeah, get there at 11 o'clock and both flags will be unfurled at 10 past. Before we get into the side, might just Cameron Lockwood hasn't come up again for this week, but he shouldn't be too far away from returning.
Look, he was pretty close this week. We feel it probably just needs a bit of extra time, so look, he'll have another week on the track, and hopefully look to get him back against Casey the following week. So he wasn't too far away, but probably I guess this early on in the season we're probably looking to err on the side of caution with that and make sure he's right. So hopefully he'll be back in the mix next week against Casey.
Well, let's get into the team now, and as we have a look at the defence, although he's currently named on the bench and we don't know whether he'll play at development or senior level, good to have Tim Curry back in the frame playing at least some form of football this weekend.
Yeah, so Cuz will play. I guess they said it's just a question of whether he plays seniors or development. Look, that's a decision that the match committee will sort of finalise later on tonight after training, but really looking forward to seeing him back in the fold. So obviously we saw his talents in the back end of last year, and obviously playing in the premiership as well. So he's a really important piece of our puzzle, and something we're looking to get back in the senior side as soon as possible. So we're good to see him out there for his first run. And yeah, he certainly adds a different mix to our back half with his ability to read the ball and also his ball use in the back half as well.
Absolutely, and moving on to the midfield, I thought they were really strong last week, in particular the game from Willie Wheeler.
Yeah, it's probably a lot of them were a bit slow to get going. Probably like a lot of the team, first half was probably not exactly humming, but really after half time, all of those guys stepped up. Wheels, as you mentioned, Michael Gibbons had an exceptional second half. Ed Carr, probably the captain, like he always says, was pretty consistent across the whole game. But certainly we're really pleased with what they were able to do in there.
We move on to the following line, which is the forward line. How did you see it last week? I suppose there's a bit of Batman and Robin about Ace Cordy and Anthony Anastasio up there with 7 goals between them, but sort of a new look forward line for this year.
Yeah, it's certainly a bit different, I guess, from what we had last year, and we've got some different options that can go there. It was good to sort of see Jakey Owen work into the game as well as it went on. Had a bit of a different mix, and I think what we've got a few guys who can pop up at different stages, like we saw sort of Dylan Conway, Lee Masters, these sort of guys who can float through there. You mentioned Ace and obviously Red as well. We've got silly guys on their day who can kick sort of 2 or 3 goals, and we've got sort of different ways that we can hit the scoreboard there. So it was good to see, as you said, I guess both the combination of Ace clunking a few marks and then obviously Red doing what he does best. So certainly feel that we've got a few options up there, and there's certainly a few triggers that we can pull if we need to get a bit of a different mix. So yeah, obviously it's going to be a really tough test this week against Box Hill, the way they like to operate, and their backline's always been a bit of a strength. So looking forward to seeing them test themselves against one of the competition's best.
And as we finish off with the interchange, and great to see Braden Monk come back in as the 23rd man after 2 pretty strong showings last year when he was playing in that role.
Yeah, exactly. And look, it's pretty stiff for Caleb Sullivan, who sort of played as our 23rd player last week. Just structurally, we didn't feel that we need him this week. Just even looking at sort of the opposition and what we felt was best in terms of the fit. So he actually had a really good game, and we're going to see a lot of senior football from him in the future. But felt, I guess, we probably went for a different type of player in Monkey. So we've seen sort of what he's done last year. He's a real terrier. Really looking forward to him providing a real forward pressure. I think he played in one of the TV games last year and got himself a little bit of a reputation there as well. So really hoping that he can come in and have that real impact in our front half.
And you briefly mentioned the opposition there. We should look at Box Hill. They had a very strong win over Sandringham in their opening game last week, and they've got a lot of prime movers, I suppose, that may be looking to atone for last year's grand final.
Yeah, it was interesting to see sort of some people, don't know if writing them off was the right term, but certainly after they lost to Sandringham in the practice game, there was a few people questioning them, but there's no doubt they're going to be one of the form sides of the comp this year. Look, we watched them last week against Sandringham. they did a really good job against them with their ball movement and their pressure around the ball. So it's probably a different team like us compared to what I guess the two teams that put out on grand final. Both teams are going to have significant changes, and that's the way it is in the VFL competition. But they've still got some really quality players and some new faces who we haven't seen who look like they're pretty handy as well.
And probably the biggest battle will be in the midfield. Obviously, we've got a lot of premiership players running through there, but again, they've got the likes of Sam Miles and co who will be taking us on.
Yeah, exactly. And look, a couple of new faces as well who we haven't come across before. I guess Kieran Lovell had a really good game last week. Stewart has sort of played a bit forward, a bit on the wing as well. So they've got a couple of guys who we probably haven't had that much experience with, but are really highly rated players as well. So we'll see what happens at AFL level. They might get a couple back from the Hawthorn side. So, as I said, I think it is going to be a real catalyst of the game, and we're going to try to make sure that we're sort of, trying to dictate terms as much as we can in the middle of the ground and get the ball going our way.
Yep, and that's pretty much a wrap on this week's team announcement video. Just a reminder that it is a TV game on Channel 7, so the seniors will be before the development. So the seniors will kick off at 11:40 and the development's at 2:40. Correct?
2:30.
2:30 for the development side. So we've also got a President's Brunch this week as well, which will kick off at 10:30. Looking forward to having Andrew Gallucci come back to the club as a guest speaker. He's always
funniest man in Australia, he reckons. So get along. I'm sure he'll provide plenty of humour over your egg and bacon rolls or whatever's being dished up.
Exactly right. And there may be a few other ex-Seagull Premiership players floating around too. And Hawthorn General Manager of Football Operations, Chris Fagan, will also be coming up to speak at halftime. So it'll be fascinating to get his insight on all things off-field and team management. But yes, just a reminder that the Premiership unfurling is at 11:10. So please get there early if you wish to witness that. All in all, it's going to be a great day out there at Burbank Oval.
Yeah, weather's looking great. Look, it's obviously a huge day for the footy club and great to sort of honour the past. I know we've got some of the past players coming along, so we're really looking forward to it. The boys are pumped to put on a good show, so really want to see a huge crowd down there and cheer the boys on.
Thanks very much for watching, guys, and we'll see you out there at Burbank Oval on Sunday.